Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today's topic is sawmill shed. This is something we've been working on. I've hired Mose and a couple of his boys, the local Amish, and we poured the piers a couple weeks ago and just dug them out with a pulse hole digger and set Sackcrete piers. And you can see they've got bolts. Well, there's bolts through the middle of those poles. And this is all eastern red cedar. So this is all lumber that I sawed out on our mill. And the sawmill is going to go underneath this. This is going to be a permanent shelter to keep the mill out of the weather. Something I've always wanted. And I had a shed down at the house. We kept it in part of the time, and then it got taken up by other things. And anyway, I decided that this is a really good place to buy one of our big chunks of timber back here, where we're going to be doing a lot of logging anyway to sawing the lumber. So the sawmill is going to be actually in a great location. It's kind of in the center of the farm, right next to big timber, and it's got a nice ridge that leads back here to it. And it's hidden from the road. Nobody can see it. And so we don't have to worry about, people coming back here and monkeying with it. It is a wood miser. It's a LT40. It's the hydraulic load. It's got the diesel 35 horse engine on it. And, lumber's so high. I thought, I've got all this lumber. We got barns full of lumber. I'm just going to use the cedar that I cut. And the nice thing about the eastern red cedar, of course, is nothing will ever eat it. It's anti-bug. Nothing will chew on it, and it'll weather well. It'll last forever, especially if you keep it up off the ground like we have it here. So the mill's going to be pulled in. We'll back it in right here. Of course, those brace will come off of there once we get all the roof and stuff on it. But I needed an area in the middle of the shed where I could get a 20-foot log in. So I did buy one beam. This is one of those prefab beams right here. It's 21 feet. So I've got the beam from post to post is actually, the opening is 20 feet. So I can saw a 20-foot log. This is the direction the logs will come in right here. We'll have our wagon unloading out here. And the mill, I'll be standing right here, and the mill goes down through there. So we've got it wide enough I can get my tractor around behind with a bucket and scoop the sawdust out. And I'm going to build a little sled where I can put my slabs in it as they come off the mill. And the sled's going to be up on 4x8s with sides on it, where I can just hook onto it with my tractor or a four-wheeler and drag it down and get, wherever I want to dump my slabs off. We've been keeping a lot of the slabs. Jan's been using them for raised beds in her garden and greenhouse area. And now they're starting an orchard, so Brenda and Jan are cabbaging onto all my good slabs, the thicker ones, which is great. It's a good way to use them. Always looking for ways to use scrap. But this may be the only eastern red cedar sawmill shed built. But I had it, and it's all good wood, and I'm like, heck with it, I'm gonna use it. Just to buy a beam today, folks, that beam right there, that's a 6x6. That one is about 14 feet long. That's gonna cost you probably 60-70 bucks. Those big beams up there, they're probably 80 to 100 bucks. So saved a lot of money. I did buy the tin, of course. I don't manufacture tin, but tin's something you got to have. You got to keep the moisture off. I am going to keep the other four sides open on. I want airflow through here, especially on a summer day. I don't want to have sides on this thing and no airflow and the sawdust going everywhere. As long as I've got some air, you can work with that. But yeah, it's going to be nice to have it in out of the weather. And I hate to see any kind of rust appear on my mill, and because it has been sitting outside some, it's got some of that on there. But It won't have it anymore. No more is going to be formed because we're going to have it out of the rain. But one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is we've got some really nice oaks on here. This is the black oak right here. That's one that we'll probably harvest. I mean, it's a beaut. I don't know, I may leave it. Let's see, it's already got some dead limbs up there in it. There's a big dead limb. There's another one on the other side. So I'd say that tree's maybe has another 10 years. But you can tell by looking at it, it's solid. So you probably ought to mill that while it's worth some money. But we've got a ton. We've got a ton of them like this, folks. Can't really see it to that little tree. Look at this. Those are white oaks. Big ones. This is where I cut my log cabin out of. Back in 1979, I built a 3-story log cabin. And this is where a lot of them came out of. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And that thing goes, my gosh, it goes 25 feet without a limb. There's another one behind it. Ooh, look at this. Look at this one down here. This one is a, pick up my feet so I don't trip. That one is a beaut right there. Look at that. That's going to make some beautiful white oak lumber. Just beautiful stuff. And white oak in the state of Missouri is considered one of our premier money trees. They use it to build the white oak barrels. They need barrel staves for the wine and the whiskey industry. They also use them for flooring, cabinets. White oak is highly sought after in the furniture industry. And I've got, well, in this particular piece of timber here, there's about 25 acres just solid right here, white oaks. And then across the road, I've got about 40 acres. And then on another farm we bought, I'd say over half of that farm's got white oak on it. It's probably close to 15 acres of white oaks over there. So we've got plenty of timber to mill. And this is what we're going to do in our slack time. So when things aren't as busy, we can come over here and I don't care if it's raining. We can be under that roof right there. And I put an overhang on there where I can actually, we're going to have a little extra room on the ends where we can stack lumber to store out of the weather. That'd be kind of nice too. Never had a sawmill with a shed over the top of it, so I'm going to be spoiled. I can't wait for them to get that other side of that roof. I want to get some shade. It's hot out here today. It is, this is June 4th. And it feels like July 4th. I mean, it really got summer in a hurry. But yeah, we're gonna finish this roof today. They're gonna have that metal on and the ridge cap, and I'll be able to pull the mill in here next week and get it all level and set up, and we'll be in business. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead. Well, before I sign out, I just want to tell everybody. That grazing school that we're going to be having September 9th and 10th, it's been posted for 2 weeks, and I think we're up to 54 people. It's over half full, and that's in 2 weeks. So if you're going to wait till July to sign up, you're never going to get there. It's going to be filled up. So those of you all that been, I've had a lot of people send me emails. Darn it, I wish we'd have got in on that last one, and that one in May. And I'm like, well, here's your chance. So if you're really serious about learning how to graze and convert pastures to look like this, folks, I mean, this is just gorgeous. This is the poorest part of my farm right here, and it's still pretty. Mose was saying, man, Greg, this is awful good grass to cover up with a shed. I told him, I said, well, Mose, this is the worst part of the farm we have right here. This is the worst. And you get up there on top of that hill there, it really gets beautiful. Look at this. That's bird's foot trefoil. It just came up. Here's hop clover. The little yellow one there, hop clover, red clover, alsike, orchard grass. Of course, fescue. There's brome. Then we have our forbs. There's a multifer rose bush. Cattle eat that. That's the tender one. It's just fresh. That is the beautiful thing about brush hogging every couple of years. See, this was brush hogged, and it came back vegetative. That's pretty good feed for cows right there. They'll eat that. But yeah, you can see from this side that shed is really taking shape. I've used mows for many, many years. When we first started, Jan and I, we'd go out and get him and his brothers and help us build fence. And let me tell you what, they know how to work. And so do their kids. They teach them to work when they're young, and I think it makes better people out of them. Everybody ought to learn how to work. Working never hurt anybody, and I think that's something that we need to really teach our children is, you know, in this world, to get ahead, nothing's given to you. And if it is, you're not going to appreciate it. Just like this farm you're looking at right here. This wasn't given to me. I worked in town for 30 years. I paid this off after I quit by farming full time. And I'll tell you this, folks, if you have a dream, write it down. And try and cross something out each day. Try and cross something off that list each day. Get you a little closer to reaching your dream. And you only live one time. And every day you go and do something you don't like doing, that's one day you don't get back. So make sure you're doing what you like doing. Because every day is a beautiful day when you do that. And I just thank my lucky stars that I get to do this now every day. You know, being the regenerative type rancher and having young people, teaching them the next generation how to step in and do the same thing. I think it's awesome. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off of here. Oh, we got a new book in. The new book is in. So we're going to be putting that, first it goes to the people that signed up on MailChimp. They're going to get the first dibs at it. But once we get all those orders filled, we will be posting it on our website. But yeah, got it in. 500 copies. That was the first printing, so I think we're going to be making a call to the printer to get some more copies printed really quick. So anyway, check it out, and we'll see you all down the road, and everyone have a great weekend, and see you next time.